Everyone in this arena has a money stake in one of our famous couples as we play the game of celebrity gossip, Tattletales. And here's the star of Tattletales, Bert Convy.
Here we go. Welcome to Tattletales, everybody. Thank you for tuning us in. Please stay where you are. We have really, truly a wonderful show today. I shouldn't say a show. It's really a party today. We've been having so much fun the last few days, and if you stick around, you'll see what I'm talking about. Here they are. Winning money today for the blues section. Oh, there they are. Totie Fields and her husband, Georgie Johnston.
Bert, I know you're not going to like this, but I had to hit Georgie in between shows.
You had to hit him?
Yeah. Yes, he just says silly things.
Really? Well, because yesterday I loused up the answer to that question.
What, you mean the one about ever lying and not telling the truth and so forth?
Right, so,
well,
you know.
You make a mistake.
She smacked me around a little bit.
You're
not much,
human,
not much,
Georgie.
not much.
It can
Just
happen.
Kept all the blows below the belt so that you didn't see anything.
Oh, I see. Okay, well, that's
Nothing in the face.
Moving right along.
Sorry about
Winning
that.
money today for the bananas section, Mr. Ross Martin and his wife, Olavee Martin. Well, how have you two been getting along? You've been doing fine. No problems in between shows?
Are you talking about personally or dollar-wise here?
No, not dollar-wise. As far as getting, I mean, you know, sometimes these questions cause a little difficulty. People discuss it. No.
When you're winning, no.
Oh, you've been winning, huh?
Yes.
Oh, have you been winning?
Well, haven't we won 2 out of 3 this week?
Oh, I don't know, but who's counting? Somebody is.
Well,
I just play the game.
Yes.
I don't care if I win or
Right, we understand.
I gathered that we had been winning because things were so good in the
Things were
dressing
going so
room.
smoothly, yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
we've been late twice.
Whoops! Winning money today for the red section. There he is, and it's so good to have he and his wife on the show. Mr. Jerry Vale and his wife, Rita Vale.
We have to win one, don't we?
not that important.
Well, everything is
What?
fine.
Bert, I said I hope we'll win one game.
You're gonna
We haven't won any day
Well,
so
maybe
far.
today is the day.
Everything is fine.
Maybe Jerry
Bert,
can sing. Wait a minute.
Bert, everything is fine. We were divorced after the show yesterday.
Oh, I see. Well, then maybe you'll get back. Really, that
Well, we
usually
wanted to
works very
finish the
well.
week.
Here we go. First question worth $150, fellas. It's you. You're going to be marooned without your wife
Marooned
on our
again.
famous desert island for
What a
1
break.
year. This time
For a
it's
year.
for a year. As your companion, you can choose either a man who's your best friend or a beautiful young woman who's a complete stranger. Which will it be? Think that one over, and we'll come back in a moment. Goodbye, fellas. I sense a note, an undercurrent of anticipation. I think a lot of people seem to know how this is going to go. Totie, what do you think Georgie will say?
Well, I know what he wants to say. Because any guy that wants to be marooned with another guy ain't married to me.
Yeah.
And if my Georgie didn't want to be with an adorable young girl, then there's something wrong with him mentally and emotionally.
Yes.
I would absolutely say, as a normal man, he would want to be with a woman.
Right.
But I want to tell you, my old man's a little weird, you know. Because he and Bert could sit for 40 hours and talk, right?
But just talk, yes, of course. But not for a year. I mean,
Well, then if he's going to go, I don't want him to come back with pimples.
no, that's true. I understand. I think the general impression is that you think he'll say the young woman.
I would want him to be with a young lady.
Really?
If
Well,
he
now
was
that's
marooned.
very sweet.
I would want him, and vice versa.
Oh,
I'd want to be with a guy. You
yeah,
know?
I understand. You don't, I mean...
Rita and I would kill each other on an island.
Okay, here he comes. It's the young woman. Georgie, you have your choice. You're going to be marooned for a year on this desert island.
1 year, huh?
Your choice for that year will be your best friend, a man, or a young woman, beautiful, who is a complete stranger. Which one will it be?
Well, I make friends easily, so
Yeah.
I'll choose the girl.
That's it. I make friends easily, eh?
Georgie?
Yes.
You just made me the happiest woman in the world, honey.
Fine.
Because if you chose a guy,
Oh.
I would really be upset, honey.
Would I choose a guy?
Yeah, I mean, because you've been wearing a lot of loose things lately, and
No.
ankle bracelets and
Wow.
wedgies. You know what I mean, honey?
Well,
And
that's
I would think there was something wrong.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. The earrings are the only thing
Yeah.
you give me away.
Dead giveaway, but you can't
Right.
see him with the earphones, so it's all right. Thank you, Georgie. Olavee, what will Ross say?
Well, I think he's going to say the same thing, but in the question, it didn't say that we were married. It had nothing to do.
Yes, it says without your wife.
Read it again.
You're going to be marooned without your wife on our famous desert island for 1 year. As your companion, you can choose either a friend your best friend, who is a man, or a beautiful young woman who is a complete stranger. Now, I guess theoretically, you're going to come back after that year, still be married
Yeah.
to you, perhaps.
Uh-huh. Oh, well, then that makes a difference. I didn't hear that.
That's a little tricky.
And he has about 5 fantastic male friends.
Right.
And I hope I'm not wrong.
Oh, Olavee.
Well, darling, really, if I were going to be on an island alone, I wouldn't want to be with a young guy.
You wouldn't?
No,
Are
because
you crazy? I'd like to be with Bird.
well, Bert's.
And I'd go, too.
No, you say a young girl, that is the same as a young guy. I don't think I'd have that much to talk about, or I really think he's.
Olavee, Olavee, I don't want to lead you, but are you sure you grasp the significance of this question?
I live in a make-believe world. I really
it's a
think
better
he's
world,
going to say that he would rather be with one of his best male friends.
Well, now, wait a minute now. She's
Now,
qualified
wait a
this
minute.
a
The
great
show's
deal.
only a half hour. You know what I mean?
And if that's
this
what
is
you
a
want to say,
series
then
already.
by golly, that's it. I mean, you know the man. Surely.
Never.
You know him best.
All
you-
right,
what do you wanna do?
I'm gonna do it for you, and you're gonna suffer the consequences. Okay?
All
I'm gonna
right.
say the young girl,
You'll
but
say
I
the young
know
girl.
the other way.
All right, but oh boy, I don't know. Okay, here he comes. Shh, 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 shh. We'll see. Ross, you're going to be marooned without your wife on our famous desert island for 1 year, and as your companion, you can choose either a man who's your best friend or a beautiful young woman who's a complete stranger. Which will it be?
Well, if I were marooned on a desert island for 1 year with a beautiful young woman, at the end of the year, she'd be my new best friend.
Yeah. So
So I choose the beautiful young woman.
that's right. That's what the banana section said. Olavee said no, and the bananas talked her out of it. Oh, you see, that's fun.
How much conversation can you
Her,
go through?
Olavee's instincts were to say, no, he's got these great friends, and I think that's what he'd do. And the bananas went, no way.
They talked
you,
me out
Ross.
of it, darling.
Oh, aren't we lucky?
Yes, Rita, what will Jerry
I could
say?
be persuaded. Did you notice?
Yes.
Jerry would say with the girl,
He would. Huh?
definitely.
No two ways about that.
No, absolutely.
That's it. That's what I like, a firm decision. Here he comes now. Jerry, you're going to be marooned without your wife on our famous desert island. As your companion, you can have a man who is your best friend or a beautiful young woman who's a complete stranger. Which will it be?
Well, what would I do with a man who's my best friend?
I asked you first.
Yeah. I think my wife would say that I would be with the girl.
That's it. You got it. You're all right. You all got it. We split it 3 ways. It was close and treacherous, but we figured it out. We'll come back with question number 2. Don't go away. See you in a moment. Here we go. Question number 2 coming up, and this is it. And if you are ready, gentlemen, we have a 3-way tie. 50-50-50. This is it. Ben, you're walking down the street when a perfect stranger walks up and punches you in the nose. You get up, ready to go into battle. When he says, I'm terribly sorry. You're the wrong man. Now, what would you do? Would you punch him out? Would you call a policeman? Or do nothing, just bleed? Okay, think it over, fellas. It's a good question. It's almost happened a couple times, I'm sure of that. Olavee, what would Ross do in a case like that?
I think the fact that the man apologized, my husband would just drop it and bleed and forget it.
He would, huh? He would
Yes.
just bleed.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
The
the
fact that
bananas
he
are grumbling
apologized.
again. No, it's okay. They say okay. Here he comes now. What are you going to do? The guy comes up to you, bam, he knocks you down, punches you in the nose. You get up thinking you're in it, And he says, I'm terribly sorry. Wrong man. What would you do? Would you punch him back? Would you call a policeman? Or would you just bleed?
How big is the guy?
They always manage to find something, don't they? It's never on my card. He's 6'9", weighs 700 pounds.
Well, you know, because that would have a lot to do with it. You know, a guy 6'9" who weighs 1,100 pounds.
No, I'm kidding. I'm really just kidding. We are not qualifying his size. Could be a big punch, could be a little punch. But he does punch and knocks you down.
Is it a genuine apology?
Well, that is not on my card either. He says, I'm terribly sorry. You're the wrong man. He does say that.
I think I'd accept his apology.
That's right. That's what you said you'd do. You know, that's interesting. You had to really think about it, didn't you, Ross?
Yes, my first, you know, I thought maybe you deck the guy and you say, oh, I'm awfully sorry, that was the wrong hand. But, which
I'm
is,
sorry
you know,
too.
another, yeah.
Right, thank you, Ross. You're absolutely
it's
right.
just, if it's a genuine apology, and I'm assuming that, otherwise there's no point in the question.
Well, you won the money now, so who cares what the apology is like? Rita, what will Jerry do?
Well, I think that Jerry, being so gentle, would go directly to his car and get the tire iron and probably crack the man's skull open.
So, that gentle, eh?
That's what I think he would definitely punch
him back.
Definitely.
Definitely.
Without a question of a doubt.
Really, he's got a bit of a temper, does he, Jerry?
Well, it's not really a temper. He can be provoked.
Yes.
He does have a temper.
He does.
He does. No, it's not really bad. It's, well, Totie could hear him over the wall, so...
All right, he'd punch him out.
He likes to yell. He has a very loud voice.
Yes,
he
I know.
vocalizes
And
that
beautiful,
voice.
too. Here he comes. Stranger walks up to you, perfect stranger on the street, Jerry, punches you in the nose, knocks you down. You get up ready to do battle, and he says, I'm terribly sorry, you're the wrong man. What would you do? Would you punch him out? Would you call a policeman? Or would you do nothing, just stand there and bleed?
Well, first of all, I don't think I'd give him the chance to say anything. I'd probably punch him out.
That's right. That's what she said. Wow, you know your man.
Well, we got one right.
Two right.
I'm glad I didn't try that. Totie, what will George say?
Georgie's a very non-violent man. Georgie would probably say, I'm gonna go get Totie. My Georgie would absolutely accept his apology. Yeah, absolutely.
I just bleed all
only
over
because he's a coward. And no, he just doesn't know how to fight. He's not a fighter.
He'd bleed all over him and ruin his suit. That's what he'd do.
No, he would accept because he's a very compassionate man.
And he would do nothing.
Yeah, and
Here
he'd
he
listen
comes.
to the guy. He listens to everyone.
Here he comes. Perfect stranger walks up to you on the street, George, punches you in the nose, knocks you down.
Right.
You pick yourself up, and the guy says, I am terribly sorry, you're the wrong man.
Yeah.
What would you do? Would you punch him out, call a policeman, or do nothing, just bleed?
Could I ask a question first?
Surely.
Did Jerry punch the guy out?
No, that has nothing to do with
I want to know. Did he punch the
Well,
guy?
I
No,
don't-
Jerry.
can
He
I-
punched
can I-
the guy.
I'm not going to tell you that.
Oh, okay. No, I
I'll
would
say
call
that
a policeman.
You would call a
I would call a
policeman?
cop. Yeah.
No, that's not what Totie said. Is that fascinating? He's the only one that said that. That's interesting.
I would
Jerry
call a
would
cop.
punch the guy out, first of all.
Without a doubt.
Jerry'd punch him out.
Oh, sure. I knew he would punch.
You'd
him
call
out.
a policeman, huh?
Yeah, I would
Why
call-
would you call a cop if
Well,
the
first of all,
man
my
said-
punch isn't that hard. And
We know why you wouldn't punch him back.
right.
We all assumed
I
you
would hit him with my pocketbook, maybe, but I would not punch him.
I'm sorry, Georgie. Olavee, Ross, Rita, and Jerry split the pot in half, and we'll change places,
Yeah.
gentlemen and ladies. Step to the rear. We'll bring the fellas out front. We're coming back with a second half after these messages for you. Don't go away. See you tomorrow. Here we go. We have the gentlemen out front, the ladies are in the back, and we are ready to go with the second half. And Olavee, you're tied with Rita with $125. Totie, you have $50, but plenty of time. Here's the question, it's $150. In a recent TV episode, Maude dealt with the problem of what to do with the ashes of a deceased relative. Now, let's say that your rich, eccentric uncle dies. He leaves you $100,000 if you'll agree to keep the urn containing his ashes on your night table for the rest of your life. Would you do it? Think it over. On the night table. Goodbye, ladies. You'd have to say good night, darling, good night, Uncle Fred, every night for the rest of your life. What do you think, Jerry? For $100,000, would you do it? The audience finds that kind of interesting.
It's a place to flick your ashes.
Yes.
I would say, what, for $100,000?
$100,000. Yep.
For the rest of my life.
But you keep those ashes by your night table for the rest of your life.
I'm telling you what Rita will say to this.
Yes, I'm asking Rita. That's right.
I think she would probably say yes.
She would do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For 100 big ones, why not?
Here she comes. Rita,
Yes.
this rich, eccentric uncle has left the ashes to you with the stipulation that you keep them by the night table and for the rest of your life, for which he will give you $100,000. Would you do it?
Yes.
That's right. That's what Jerry said.
Because I loved my uncle very much.
What, Rita?
I loved my uncle very much.
You loved your uncle very much. It's the least you could do. Thank you.
Right.
I think she'd do it for $100.
What a sweet
Wait a
person.
minute.
Thank you, Rita. Totie will say what, George?
Oh, this is kind of a rough one. I think my first inclination is that Totie would say not for $1 million. That it would just be too creepy to have ashes of a dead person beside your bed at all times. I think she would just say no. Not even for $100,000. I don't think she 100,000 or 1,000.
No, 100,000.
Oh, 100,000. She could do a lot of shopping with 100,000.
That's right.
You
Remember,
better think twice, Georgie.
All right, I think she'll say no. I think she'll say no. That it's just she's
going to stick with it. Well,
Yeah, I
first
think
instinct,
she
every
doesn't
time he
like that
changes
sort
his
of
mind, he
thing,
gets in trouble. You know that.
I think he's right.
She would think it would be too creepy to do.
All right, the answer is no. Here she comes. This rich, eccentric uncle will give you $100,000 if you will keep his ashes next to your bed, on your bed table, night table, for the rest of your life, Totie. Would you do it?
Well, my uncle may be nuts, but I'm not. You know what I mean? For $100,000, what do I care where the hell he is? Yeah, because you know why I'd keep it there? Because I got a Viola that works for me, and she dusts them away anyway.
That's not what Georgie said. He said, no, you wouldn't do it.
Georgie, I can't believe you're saying that.
What?
The?
No, I thought you would be too creepy. You'd say, ugh, I wouldn't want it. Yeah, I wouldn't want it. That's what I thought you would say.
Well, but honey, $100,000.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, don't be hasty, honey.
Sorry
$100,000.
about that, Totie.
You can put them in a nice gold box.
Ross, what will Olavee
You don't have
say?
to look at them.
What would she say to this?
Well, you know, for that kind of money, you can buy a big enough night table so it's at least 20 feet away.
That's true.
Secondly, for that kind of money, if he's not a bad guy, she'd even let him sit on the night table if he was alive. Not in there.
True.
I would say that for $100,000, Olavee would say, sure, we'll keep the urn on that night
yes,
table.
absolutely. Here she comes. The eccentric uncle will leave you $100,000 if you will in turn keep his ashes next to you on the night table for the rest of your life.
In an urn.
In an urn.
Yes.
Would you do that?
You know, when I think of what $100,000 would do for the fund that is set up to rehabilitate abused children, I would be willing to keep it on the coffee table in the living room.
That's
in
it. You
the
got it. He
place
got it, too. Olavee and Ross, Reed and Jerry split it in half. They got it. Still a tie. 2/3 of one. We'll come back and break the tie. $300 question coming up. Don't go away. $300. This will decide the game. We have 2/3 of a tie, but never fear, Georgie. You can still pull it out here. Ladies, they say that sometimes we all act like children. Which of the two of you more often acts like a child? You or your husband? Ooh, good question. Off you go. Threw me for a second. Wow. What will Totie say? Which of the
Totie.
two of you?
Totie, right away.
No.
Yes, she says she's 11 years old all of her life, so she knows that she's like more childlike than.
Than you are.
Right.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
I've played tennis with you. I've seen you throw your racket and stamp your feet and
Oh,
cry
yeah.
and hold your breath.
Yeah, but she never saw me do that.
Oh, okay.
So she'll say her.
She'll say it's
yeah,
her.
I think
Here
so,
she
yeah.
comes. Totie, which of the two of you more often acts like a child?
I have never emotionally gone over the age of 11.
That's what the man said. You got it. Absolutely correct. Ross, what will Olavee say?
Well, you say more often. I would say I do more often than she does.
Really?
Yeah, I go off the handle much more than she does.
Oh, okay. All
Isn't
right.
that the truth? You could
I
tell
don't know
from
how
which-
they know
yeah.
that. They say, yes, right.
Yeah, right on.
Okay, it's you. Here she comes. Olavee, which of the two of you more often acts like a child?
Well, because I'm younger, I have the right. I do.
No, that's not what Ross said. Oh, it's getting interesting, gang. He said himself. Jerry, what will Rita say? This will decide the game.
I would say that Rita would say that I would act more like a child on more occasions.
You'd be the one.
Yes.
Georgie's
Yes.
shaking his head. He agrees. Let's bring on Rita. Rita, this will decide the game, dear. Here we go. Which of the two of you would you say more often acts like a child?
Jerry does.
Right, you got it. Rita and Jerry, Totie and Georgie guess. Split the 300 and a half. However, time is up. Rita and Jerry win it for the Reds. We will return in just a moment and let the Red section have all their money. See you in a moment. The Red section with Rita and Jerry win it. $350. We had 1,000, 1,350 big ones. You were all wonderful. But Jerry and Rita were best. But today they were best. Thank you all for watching us. I hope you'll come back and see us again next time on Tattletales. Bert Kai was saying so long, everybody.
Yeah.